You'll be fine. And we are alive and ready to talk about things and stuff. Mainly stuff.
God, I love things and stuff.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't, my man?
You can tell I'm back in the Imperium. No more house.
No more House of Q.
No more House of Q.
I did like the standing desk.
It was great. Honestly, I'm probably gonna start. It's just nice to have a prop to wave around. But no more House of Q. I have to live in the real world today, which includes trying to find this video on YouTube so that I can see the graphics myself.
So I'm looking at a big old demon list.
You are, yes. You are looking specifically at Bryan Malpass's list, which, first off, let's get hype, because he's heading to Chicago for the GW event, and he's got some... Let me see. Hey, heading to Chicago for the GW event, he tagged Nick and Siegs, which is the wrong people. If I make top bracket again, I'll donate $100 to the cause of Fix My List. And then to which Nick replied, Jack, pick this one. And then Bryan offered me specifically $50 in cash after Nick, who has the discretion here, had already said, well, not has the discretion, like I am God on this channel, obviously, but after Nick, who makes those kind of decisions, had already told me to pick it, Bryan doubled down. And I appreciate that in a man, I appreciate the knowledge of when, singling down is just, unfortunately, not enough.
Oh, we do have the hard-hitting questions coming in. Which is better, things and stuff or meat and trash?
Well, things and stuff or meat and trash. I like old beef and trash personally.
Old beef and trash.
Old
beef and trash.
Beef and trash. So, in the spirit of being bribed, sometimes it won't work, but this time it will. First off, Bryan's definitely getting top bracket, so that's free real estate right there.
Free real estate.
Free real estate. That's free real estate. Let's look at his list. So first up, we've got Be'lakor, who is a baller, a big baller.
He is a big baller.
Yeah, I remember Siegs on one of our streams tried to shoot him and got real sad after doing 2 wounds with his whole tower army.
Pew pew.
That will happen. Next up, he's got Penumbral Curse and Shrouded Step. Penumbral Curse, Shrouded Step is you teleport
a unit.
Teleport a unit, which is great with flamers that appear in this list. And Penumbral Curse, I believe, makes a unit unable to be targeted, but it might go on opponents. I think it might go on opponents and make them unable to make them fight last if they fail a 3d6 leadership check. Either one of those psychic powers is good, although I think I'd probably want to make a unit of 6 flamers, untargetable. Sounds good to me.
So, and then we've got the Thirster.
Yep.
5 up, feel no pain.
5 up, feel no pain. He's got the Great Axe. Yeah, he's got a great axe. He has phase caps, and he has the Blood Drinker Talisman to heal back.
Yep.
So this guy is very tough to kill because he's got 8 wound phase caps. He's easy to bracket, but he's very tough to kill. So that's something we can talk about there. He heals every time he kills a model. He heals on a 5+, and he has 5 of Feel No Pain, up to 6 of phase. But if you hit that, I mean, come on, you're rolling. You're rolling.
Yeah, you're boss moding it. You take 9 turns to kill, so it'll probably be tough.
Then we've got Scarbrand, old Scary B himself, prevents people from falling back, gives bonus attacks, just kind of an all-around G. We've got 30 Bloodletters, and then after that we've got an Undivided Patrol, which I think, or Undivided Vanguard, which I believe should just be a Tzeentch Vanguard. I don't see a reason why it not, so I would, fix your list with that. Fluxmaster with no powers, although I suspect it's going to be hold 2 warp charge points, and it's Gaze of Fate, and then not flickering flames, Infernal Flames for +1 to wound on flamers. Those two seem pretty good. And then he's got 6/5/5 flamers. I mean, this list is just all the good stuff.
It has all the good stuff. Do you want me to tell you if I somehow summon the strength and the power to go, what I'm going to take? Because I'm going to take Demons if I go.
Yeah, what are you going to take?
Very, very similar, but you know me, I need more stuff. So
Trash.
I go Thirster. I definitely take a Fluxmaster, and then I've got there's 2 detachments here, but I've got the Herald because I've got 2 units of Daemonettes, I've got 3 units of Bloodletters, I've got 3 units of Flamers, 5/5/4, and then I've got the Be'lakor and the Bloodthirster. So I really like just having more stuff, and Daemonettes are disgusting right now. You put the Psychic Power on them, they have 5 attacks apiece with exploding 6s. And it's also just more OBSEC out there.
It's hard to fit that in because
I don't have a Scarbrand. I think that the third big guy is tough. While they're super cool, he doesn't fly, so you basically teleport him in and hope for the best. So
yeah, which I mean, to be fair,
Be'lakor
brings him in, and then Scarbrand turns the game into a series of one-on-one fights. You know,
you're looking for basically to trap people in. So
right.
I get it. It's just the problem is that if you don't have enough trash, and they're not even trash, all the demons don't even have a lot of trash units.
Are you calling this man trash?
No. I'm talking about if you don't have enough trash. Is the fact
How
that
big that axe is?
I mean, he did get thrown for 8 days to rip his wings off. If you know the
That's
flow.
true. That's not Scarbrand. That's a Bloodthirster.
I can't see what you're holding, sorry. And that dude's a monster. So the only thing is that if your opponent's just like, hey...
Oh, yeah, you really can't see that.
This side of the board is terrible. I'm going somewhere else. And you don't have enough stuff to take your back board. You could smash your opponent, but if they're just sitting on your objectives going, ooh, that looks terrible over there, that part of town's really gone downhill. So...
The Scarbrand's moved in.
Yeah, Scarbrand's moving in town, and the property values have really tanked. So that's a big thing.
Yeah. I mean, Scarbrand is like a whole play style in and of himself, so I don't necessarily want to cut him, but my instinct is to cut one of these big boys. Because Be'lakor brings in Scarbrand then traps you in combat, and then there's no...
It's a good combo. It's just the thing is that for me, the one big guy that's just always in there is the Thirster because he ruins certain matchups for people because of the wound cap, the feel no pain, the getting wounds back. He is a nightmare to some armies.
Yeah.
And he's doing big damage. I mean, his base is either swinging 8 times, that's without any buffs whatsoever from anything, or he's slamming down 16 damage 2 attacks.
Yeah, no, the Bloodthirster bangs. One of my favorite units on release of the book, and still just putting in the work. So we have 2 comments here. First one is, can you teleport Scarbrand with Be'lakor? No, it's infantry only, unfortunately. The second one is Ganny and Jay. Good morning and happy hump day. Brad and Jack are the meaty center of the weekday grind sandwich. Being the meaty center of a grind?
Meaty center.
Yeah.
But I just want more stuff. And the thing is that it hurts me to take 2 big guys, let alone 3 big guys. So it's just, I want more things. Also, some of this stuff in the Demon book, like I said, the Daemonettes are disgusting, especially with the buffs. It also gives you more things to block out, take objectives, score points, do actions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, sorry, I also have a unit of blues in my army too.
Yes. So I do think this needs more stuff. I also think it runs into a psychic power problem. So it has a Fluxmaster, which is dope. Demons almost always will want to do Warp Ritual.
And you need somebody to do that. So it's just...
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing is, like, let me make sure that I'm not talking nonsense. I feel like I forgot a unit. But, let's see. Be'lakor Thirst, that's not me. That is someone else's foolish list. That is crazy talk.
Yeah, let's find your foolish list.
Be'lakor, triple bloodletters, Bloodthirster, Fluxmaster, Transweaver, Blue Horrors, 2 units of Daemonettes, 3 units of Flamers. Yep. So just have more
A lot of
things.
nonsense. Yeah. So looking at this, right? The game plan, the A game is pretty strong, right? It's bring in some. Be'lakor brings in his two burly brothers, and they ask you to never talk to him ever again. In fact, they one-on-one just tear their way through your entire army, and you never get to leave combat. And if you're Tau, you're very sad. And I am all about that, honestly. I do like making Tau very sad.
Problem is that your opponent has opportunities to just say, well, screw it, I'm just going to put a bunch of guys in reserve. And while
Yeah,
you're doing that, they just come in on other sides of the board because you just don't have enough stuff to block them out. And if you're playing a 5 mission objective and your opponent takes your 2 objectives, it's
playing a
pretty much
objective.
5 mission objective. It's the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, objectives are objectives. So I don't care if you've torn down everything on my side. I'm just going somewhere else.
Yeah, I think this definitely has a problem where it makes one giant bowling ball that tries to just bowling ball its way through your opponent's army, but it doesn't have a lot of stuff in it.
That's literally why I went with the list I said, because I just wanted more things on the table. Plus, some of the good things in the Demon Codex still hit pretty damn hard, man. You know, you put the psychic on the Daemonettes, and you're like, hey, that's a 51 attacks with exploding sixes.
Yeah, yeah. So I think I want to keep the bowling ball alive. I think the bowling ball is fine. Like that's the game plan here is bowling ball, and then find a victory in the ashes. But what I think you want to do is I think you want to have some more stuff. And that can very easily just be like a unit of bloodletters becomes, a unit of bloodletters and a flamer become 2 units of blues.
I mean, it's tough, man. You get 1,000 points in characters there.
Yeah, I understand that makes you break out in hives.
I mean, it's not even 1,000. Sorry, 1,100 points of characters.
Brad Chestericus would absolutely, in a million years, never sign off on 3 characters, all of which are above 300.
It's just tough, man. I need more trash.
Crosses to bear, Brad.
Your trash actually does damage now, though. You don't need to lose the rest of the stuff, because, I mean, you literally throw 30 Bloodletters, the Thirster, and Be'lakor into somebody's army. They're still not leaving for a couple turns.
Yeah. So your army is what? Scarbrand goes to sleep. Is Be'lakor in there?
I have Be'lakor and the Bloodthirster, so I'm already having a little bit of a twitch. But I don't have any Scarbrand. So I have 330 points of other stuff.
I could totally see cutting a monster.
And I took my Flamers to 554, which actually freed up a ton of points. And on the table, it feels enough because you're looking at D6 plus 3 for each one of those anyway. So they still serve the same purpose.
Yeah. So looking at this, I think either Be'lakor or Scarbrand can go. Doesn't have to, but can.
It's the thing is if you don't have Be'lakor, it's hard to get Scarbrand there. Scarbrand doesn't fly. You're just hoping for a good deep strike at that point in time.
Most of the time, you can get a 6er off of doubling the -1 leadership.
Sure, but your opponent's just still looking to screen you out at that point in time. They know it's going to be 6 inches at that point.
Scarbrand is it's always going to be 6 inches. Right. Scarbrand is going to get screened out, and he just needs to just kill the screen, tag another one, and then keep that chain rolling. And yeah, if they abandon an entire flank to Scarbrand, like that's fine. It's not actually a big deal. Some armies straight up can't deal with him. Like Eldar can't deal with him at all because you don't get the benefit of Guide or Doom or any of that because he ignores psychic powers. You can't smite him. None of that nonsense happens to him. And you can't leave combat, so you don't get to shoot him. So, like, what are we doing? Are we sending in, like, Howling Banshees to deal with Scarbrand?
They would whip his ass.
I mean, they get +1 attack, which is hilarious, but they will not, in fact, whip his ass without. May- Maybe Nick's strength 5 ones will, but everyone else's strength 4 ones will not.
I didn't even know we got a strength increase. No one tells me these things.
It was only for a couple stream games in a row.
Oh wow.
Well, we told them every time, and then the next time they were strength 5 again.
Man, I'm gonna up mine. I'm gonna up mine every game I play then. Strength 8 Banshees. Auto fight. You could literally. I'll just hail a doom in his stupid face.
Evan, I'm sorry. Is that shooting you're going to deal with Scarbrand with? No, he's got human shields. Yeah. He's going to hold a whole bunch of elves in front of all your shooting and say you can't actually shoot me because I'm in combat.
I'm okay with him just murdering something every turn though.
Yeah, but the rest of the army's also doing stuff.
Yeah, I have to deal with the rest of the army. It's a good army. It's just that he's 330 points of like fairly easily move blockable. Yes, he again doesn't fly. The Thirster's scary as hell because he goes, "Oh, nice screen, chump. Go get your own," and jumps over it. Scarbrand goes, "Oh no, there's 3 guys that are in my way, and they're next to a building which I can't move through. This is the worst thing."
I will say Scarbrand has some problems on GW terrain for sure.
Yeah, literally a guy can stand there and go, "I notice your base is gigantic and you don't move through. You don't have that looking through your keywords and it doesn't say breachable here." So
it doesn't say breachable on his keywords. Yeah.
Yeah, does not have any breachables.
I don't think it's as bad as you think. I think you just see 330 and then you, as I said, break out.
I watched him play. This is what we brought to the team. This list right here is literally what we brought to Vegas teams for Demons. And Scarbrand did work. But he can be move blocked, and I would like to have more stuff so that I don't just lose my backfield by someone that just pushes the ejector seat button and goes, "I'm out of here. This seems awful." And all of a sudden you can't get back to the other side and you're not getting enough points.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's fine. I think we can cut one of these monsters and be good. I think I don't want to cut like 2. I don't
want to cut 2 at all. I mean, obviously I don't want to cut 2. I have 2 in my list.
My one weakness is somebody saying something wrong in chat, but confidently. This is a real problem now.
Like Scarbrand doesn't carry his phone into combat. I feel that's 100% right.
That's just true. Anyway, yeah. I think we can cut one of these big boys. And I think it could be Be'lakor, like legitimately could be Be'lakor. Be'lakor is fine, but he's very expensive, and he himself does not hit very hard.
Be'lakor is very expensive, but that Lokai is boss mode, dude. It does set up things very, very well.
Yeah. Conceptually it does, but I've played with it a couple times and played against it. And honestly, I just always ended up leadershiping in my units anyway, like not even warp locusing.
The thing is having the option for both is just a big deal. So I don't know on that one. I'm not 100% sold. Like I have very few reps with this. You know what I mean? It's just having 2 different ways to bring something in is a big deal. You know what I mean? Especially when you're talking about big points. Because if I know that I just have to screen out Scarbrand, I literally can just create waves of trash and just go, "You're staying over there," and then he doesn't become as effective.
Yeah. I mean, looking at this list, if we want to keep the main game plan of the 3 big lads intact, which I understood, like as soon as I put this list in, that you were just going to be like, "Yeah, we're cutting these guys," because it's 1,100 points for 3 models, and
yep.
I knew we were going to hit a sticking point with you. I'm shocked that night lists survive against you.
I just pretend they don't exist. I attempt to disbelieve.
I know. You 4-up deny them out of existence. But I definitely think this wants a little more stuff. So then that's not even that hard. Q Money up top, big Q himself, Quentin Rampage Johnson, asked, "What if you replace all the bloodletters with Hars?" I didn't acknowledge that because that's my contribution. It was actually Nick's contribution. He said 10 bloodletters for 20 blue horrors, but none of you heard him say that, so it was yesterday.
The bloodletters do hit pretty hard, and you can just put people on their back foot.
You can, but I think you want to turn one of these units. One unit of bloodletters is going to end up babysitting your home objective, and you're going to be very sad about it.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Got a super chat here.
Rule question: can units with Veil of Darkness, Umbrellific Crystal, Dejump, or Warp Time fall back from Scarbrand? Well, it's different. Veil of Darkness is from Fulvio Bichelli. Never mind. I'm done.
You're not even trying here, man. You're just not even trying.
£4.49 super chat. Rules question: can Veil of Darkness, Umbrellific Crystal, Dejump, and Warp Time fall back from Scarbrand? All right, so here's how it works. Veil of Darkness, Umbrellific Crystal, and Dejump can leave Scarbrand because it's not a fallback move. Warp Time
cannot.
Just literally pick them up and put them down somewhere else.
Yeah.
Warp Time allows them to make a normal move, I believe, or a fallback. But that does require them to fall back, so they would have to check and see if they could. So Warp Time or Quicken or anything like that, Twilight Pathways.
The Veil, the Crystal, the Jump, all literally just take a unit and pick them up. They don't actually make a regular move or a fallback move.
Oh, apparently I nailed the pronunciation.
Nice.
Yeah. What are the odds of that?
Very little.
I think he's just being nice, honestly.
He's like, not even close. He's just putting a picture of you on the wall and just shooting it with an air gun right now.
So I think 10 bloodletters in this list are going to end up babysitting your backfield objective every turn, and that's
something has to. That's the thing is right now this list literally has 0 things that are taking the backfield.
So I think one squad of bloodletters turns into 2 squads of blue horrors, and you do need 10 points for that. So I think that comes out of like a single flamer. And I think the list is fine at that point. I think you want a second Psyker because you want to cast your powers and you want to do Warp Ritual. Because, like, what's the secondary plan here, right? Secondary plan is Reality Rebels, pretty clearly. Then it's like Warp Ritual, and then what?
The thing is if you get 2 units of blues, you still can't banner because they can't do actions.
Right, exactly. Well, you set up with Bloodletters turn 1. Or Flamers. Honestly, Flamers, probably. And then you babysit them.
True. I mean, you want to move, though. This whole army wants to move. It wants to set up. It wants to be midfield and then go. Yeah,
as John Chaves points out in chat,
at least 2 pictures on a wall.
On you, I'm into that. Well, yeah.
I mean, the biggest thing is we need a little bit of trash in the back. Somebody has to take the backfield objective. Somebody has to screen. Because this whole thing falls apart, even if like any units that could drop down. Like if 2 units of Dire Avengers walk in and just murder everybody in the backfield and you kill everybody on their side, well, it's kind of a draw at that point in time. And you don't want that to happen.
Yeah, you don't want Tau to just be able to run around. You don't want anything that deep strikes to be able to deep strike really good. Blues are great for stopping deep strikes. So because they just string way out. Way out. And then they stop it.
On out.
Way out. Yeah, so I kind of want, let me see it. I mean, cutting 2 squads of bloodletters feels like that cuts the legs out from under that game plan.
Still has to pummel.
Yeah, it still has to like run out, take people's objectives, do things like that. And bloodletters hit really hard next to Scarbrand and Bellicor. So
rerolls and bonuses are a big deal. They actually do a lot of work. So you still need to be able to hit people hard enough. If you're doing this battle plan, you need to hit. We just need something to just make it so you just don't auto lose the late game.
Yeah. So I think you need 2 squads of blues in here, and I would cut a squad of bloodletters and a flamer. So
I agree with that.
At that point, you're probably not using the powers off your Fluxmaster, which is probably okay. You go Warp Ritual like turns 2 through 4. Maybe you get turn 1, turn 3, turn 4, and turn 2. You buff up your flamers and make it so that they are very sad. I don't know. That's
why I actually brought the other Herald. So
yeah, the other Herald is nice because you actually want the powers off your.
It's hard to do when you've got a triple bad boy.
It's bad boy time.
Bad boy time.
Around to the triple bad boys, but I want to leave the triple bad boys intact, honestly.
You lose the triple bad boys in tech, I'm gonna have heart palpitations because of this.
You're having heart palpitations as we speak.
I mean, typically, it's not been a great month, Jack. Come on. Who are these nerds and why should I listen to them?
As he has a YouTube membership icon next to his.
I am literally the Lord of 40K wine drinking. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Let's move on.
All right. So, well, no. Let's finish up the list.
We already did.
Fair enough.
We literally talked about what we were doing several times here. You wanted to keep the triple. I said, okay. And to do the triple, we need to lose a unit of bloodletters. We need to lose one flamer. We add 2 units of blues. Mic drop.
Done.
Or you can go with my list.
So before we go to the next list, I mean, why not post your list up in chat just to, just in case he wants to copy from you.
I will.
First off, we have a question here from Reckless. How does one get their list reviewed? Oh, it's very simple. If you are a member of the War Room, you go to our Discord, you go to Fix My List, and you post your list up. Please, in an easy to read. Can you
come into camera with that, please?
Makes my life way easier.
Guys, this is what I deal with. My wife comes out of the bathroom while I'm trying to do this and go all the way to where I am. And yeah, this is what I see. She's just wearing a giant unicorn head and just walks out and stares at me. So that's how things roll around here.
What? Sorry, I feel like I missed something while I was talking about War Room membership.
Yeah, Britt just showed up with a giant unicorn head, and then I made her come on stream with it, because that's what happens. She typically does things that make it so it's hard for me to continue to focus on what the hell I'm doing. Okay, let's talk about Dark Eldar.
Okay, sorry, let me try and do my thing. War Room member Discord, Fix My List, posted up. Please, nice format, thank you. Okay. All right, we also have a comment here from Churchy, says Brad Chester and Jack Harpster. Hi guys, you fixed my LGT Creations of Bio list about a month ago. I made some changes based on your feedback and went 4-1. It also secured my top CSM player spot for the UKTC season. Thanks for the help. Hands emoji.
Boom.
Yeah, thank you, Churchy. Thanks for being a member. And absolutely, I mean, that's the plan, right? We're looking to fix lists. Get up in. Fix them.
Classy stream today. Let's look at this. We've got Drazar, full rerolls, Trip Racks, 2 5-man Grots, 2 Reavers with gotta go fast, Ricky Bobby style, Fight's Last Archon with the Grenade, 5 Warriors, 2 units of 5 Incubi, 3 Venoms with Grizzly Trophies for the minus leadership, Succubus with Triptech Whip, Quicksilver Fighter, Adrenalite, basically more attacks, 3 more units of Rex, unit of Mandrakes for that forward deploy, the 3rd unit Incubi, 2 10-man Hellions with +1 attack. I'm not a huge fan of test of skill. I would rather just have fights first and competitive edge with Cult of Strife. That is just my opinion on that. It just comes into play quite a bit because we have a very big melee meta right now where we have a ton of armies that are punching, and it's very, very nice. The fights first is a big deal, and the competitive whip Succubus is a huge deal, and I would like her to see her bounce, which shows, I think she actually has Show Stealer, we just don't have it here because that's her points.
Yeah, I think she has Show Stealer. Hold on.
She does.
She doesn't on the list here. I just wrote it in.
She does with her points for sure.
Well, you didn't write down her points, so she might not have it. I just wrote 95 because every side is 5, and I will not hear otherwise. So if she doesn't have Show Stealer, please do. If she does, then we're good. So Show Stealer is gross. You get to consolidate 6 inches in any direction. So you get to go in, hit, leave.
Backflip out of there.
Hit behind a wall, behind some boats. We're all good here. This list, it's not bad. It's a little middle of the road, I think. And it doesn't really lean into, like, you have 6 squads of racks, and that's dope, but you don't really have ways to deliver them onto your opponent's objectives that well, and that's where racks really make their money in my mind.
Because you want to put a gun in there and just shoot and then fire and fade onto things? I can see that, but he's doing a very MSU army. I have no issues with most of this stuff in here. I just like to change this to Strife for one.
Yeah.
I
use Rax doing that because you need a Strife detachment that's all Strife.
Right.
Strife. You take like a unit of witches.
No, all we did, we literally just put throw the Rax in the other patrol. We take the warriors and just make them witches, and there you go. You have a Cult of Strife detachment.
So the question here is, what the heck does Mobile Raider Soulbound do?
I gotta look at that one. I don't even use that.
Yeah. While you look that up, I will address the $1.99 super chat from Zlack Onion, who asks, did Hans cheat? As far as I know, I don't think there's any evidence that he did.
Hans Gruber?
Yes, Hans Gruber. But, I mean, from what I understand, there's no evidence, but it is, like, really weird and fishy, but I've only watched, like, a video on it, so I don't really know.
I don't even know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah, I know. I intentionally kept it vague so you wouldn't understand.
What's happening?
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but other than Magnus being like, I think he cheated, there's no actual evidence. But it is weird, so I don't really know.
All I know is what's happening here. I need to get Britt back in here with the unicorn to make me happy.
I never needed to know that is what does it for you, my man. Yep. Anyway, now it's my time to talk about a list that I ran recently. So I ran Dark Eldar to a GT this last weekend. Brad, I don't know if you know.
I heard.
Yeah, so have you found out what Mobile Raiders Soulbound?
I can't because I have to keep all of these screens up to not look at that.
Okay, I will look it up because I guess. I don't know. Reckless says, if I recall correctly, they showed he cheated over 200 matches. I didn't know if they'd shown he cheated before. I just knew that he admitted to like cheating, like, but that's the only cheating I did, which is, it's a bit weird to be like, I cheated online, but I didn't cheat in person. Like, that's like a weird distinction that you're drawing. I don't know. I really did cheat prior on a website, never confirmed in tournament. I just don't know how he would have. Didn't they like metal detector and strip search him before the last event? Brad, do you have any idea what we're talking about?
As I'm typing in, what is even happening? Where am I right now?
All right, so let's look up what Mobile Raiders, and I'm intentionally keeping you in the dark, by the way, just in case you're worried I was doing it by accident. Okay, Mobile Raiders is +2 move for flying units, which would just be the Venoms. And Soulbound is 5-up against mortals.
Rampage already put it in for you, buddy.
He did. Rampage did provide. Yeah, so that's fine. I don't really know why that's in there, if I'm being 100% honest. Venom's going 2 inches further and having a 5-up Feel No Pain is probably not worth not having 5 Feel No Pain against mortals is probably not worth not having Vect. Like, you can just Vect people and that's probably better. Clayson asked, Jack, what happened to your Craft World list at Crucible? Not sad, just disappointed. It was boring, honestly. I practiced it a couple times into Q Money himself, and I was just like, this list is boring. I was bored. And so I don't know. There was an RTT proposed the day before Crucible, and like we came up with a Dark Eldar list that I would just take, and it would be fun, and I would just have a good time running around. And then we decided not to go to the RTT, which ended up being a good idea because it was sweltering, apparently super hot.
Get a man up on that, bro.
Just like, I want to play this fun Dark Eldar list. It's not particularly good because it's Dark Eldar, but it's good for Dark Eldar, and it's fast and melee, and you can
take that back.
But I just want to play it, and then I took it to the event, and I made the finals, went 5-0, played into John's
Kraken.
Kraken, yeah, not Leviathan, Kraken, and only lost 91-80. So I'm pretty proud of that.
What did you bring?
So I brought. I wonder how they found his cheating beads. As far as I know, that's just a joke.
I swear to God, tell me the list and stop talking about whatever the hell Hans Gruber did. Tanaka Tower.
Um, yeah. So the list I took had 7 Venoms, all of which. So I took 2 patrols of Covens and 1 patrol of Strife, and the Covens were enhanced sensory organs and splinter blades. And enhanced sensory organs is ignores cover,
Ignores cover.
and splinter blades is 6s to hit in combat are an additional hit. And so I took 6 squads of racks, 5 of which had liquefiers, double liquefiers. I had 7 Venoms, 4 of which just had chain snares, and 3 of which had chain snares and grizzly trophies. 3 squads of incubi, a 10-man squad of blood brides, a squad of CP generating void scarred, and then I had a succubus with triptych whip, competitive edge. I had Drazar with no trait, and I had Archon with ancient evil, and I had an Archon with Jin Blade and Hatred Eternal, and also Splinter Genius. And then the Blood Brides also had Morvane's Agonizer. And I think I had two squads of 5 Hellions as well, with Adrenalite, which Quentin convinced me not to be a 10-man, and I think it should have been a 10-man Quentin, you son of a gun.
I'd like to see this list, by the way. So since the list we're trying to fix here, I'd like to see I'd actually like to see 1 10 and 2 5s.
Yeah, I think 1 10 and then 2 5s would have been good. So the list actually worked really well at what it wanted to do. The liquefiers were shockingly good with ignores cover. And with splinter blades, racks, and the boats hit harder than they had any right to do. It's very fast. It's very aggressive, because you get, I have the fights last in there, and then I have 3 combat characters that will murder your face, and I have grizzly trophies and incubi. So I have a lot of combat control, a lot of combat damage, and the liquefiers actually ended up being very good. The blood brides were fine. I think I would still include them because I think
they're just too expensive for me. You could do the same thing with a regular unit also.
You can. They're just, you want that extra AP, I think, because I would. Super Baharoth, which is a great way to start tilting, Brad. Brad, I played a couple games of Eldar, and Baharoth is insanity mode. How do you not have him? So anyway, Super Baharoth.
It's easy.
I know it's easy. You press X next to his name in Battle Scribe, but don't do that. Or you press the little dots and then you hit remove. But whatever. Super Baharoth donated $5 super chat. Just saying this to say something about Hans and tilt Brad.
I'm literally looked it up just because I have needed to know what the hell's happening here.
I knew at some point you would.
God damn it! Magnus is calling him out.
Yeah, well, I haven't paid attention to it in the last couple days, 4 or 5 days. Mostly because I have a new cheating scandal to focus on from fishing.
What is happening here?
Time to post things about the fishing cheating scandal, guys. You know Brad doesn't know what that's going on.
Absolutely not.
All right, so the list that I ran definitely banged. It was fast, it was good, it hit very hard, and Venoms were annoying because you could kill them, but then the guys get out and charge you and kill you. The problem was Blood Brides did really well into Chaos Knights, for example, because I charged, wrapped, they couldn't fall back. They can't fall, but they could fall back from Agonizer, but I wrapped them.
Physically wrapped it, yeah.
Yeah. And also no escape with a shard net. But they killed it, then they went and killed more, and then they went and killed more, and that was basically just how it worked. And I killed 5 of them the turn he pushed me. So I really liked having them. The Void Scarred where it felt necessary because I ran out of CP. I ran out of CP in list design, And then the Void's Guard made up for that completely and let me use like Cult of Strife reroll wounds, which by the way, please include in this list. Cult of Strife reroll wounds, great.
Yeah, it's another thing that you need. It's a big deal, man. That full rerolls. Also, having the ability to for 1 CP ignore Overwatch is a big deal. So you can just charge right in the middle of the field. You can charge a unit of. I was just saying you can charge a unit of flamers. It's a huge deal. So I definitely want this to not be test of skill. I'd also like to see 10-5-5, and we've got a place for everybody in the triple Venoms. I do like the little Reaver Chud squads that are going super fast. They're super good at blocking nonsense.
Yes. They are. I personally really was impressed with enhanced sensory organs, splinter blades, and then running Venoms with racks in them with flamers. And that was really, really good.
Oh my god. Teachers, I'm not even going to say it on this because it was weird.
It was a weird situation.
It was a very weird situation, and the D cannons do not do what was said. So, not a big deal. Basically, you can just charge them. There's no spotters. It's one model. So, yes.
Yeah. That's not the important part of even that game.
It's all good. I'm just saying, it's just if you can make it, you can make it.
Yeah.
Don't always in the end, don't try to rules jockey your opponent. Play a fun game, win by skills, not by jank.
Anyway, Mountain asks, new here, how do we get a list reviewed? Well, last time I tried to explain this, Brad derailed both my brain and the conversation. But yes, if you are a War Room member, go to our Discord, go to Fix My List, post your list up. If you are not a War Room member, become a War Room member, and then go into our Discord, go to Fix My List, and post your list up. So that's simple.
There you go.
So, like, looking at this list, let's. It's fine. Like it. I want to see Void's Guard in here because Void's Guard were insane in my game. They just
we need a strife.
CP, you know,
we need a strife. We need a strife patrol.
I want a strife patrol. Units of racks, good. If you're playing on GW terrain, don't take raiders because they suck on GW terrain.
1000%.
Oh my god!
And the Venoms are actually short enough where they can get behind it.
Yeah, they were great on GW. Like Venoms were great. They're a little expensive, which is unfortunate. I want the Venoms to go down in price, but because their shooting is non-existent.
Yeah, you don't even bother. But they're delivery mechanisms. They're literally just trying to zoom up, get in position so you can deliver the pain of a character and 5 incubi.
Trust me, 6 units of racks with double liquefiers and ignore cover and splinter blades in Venoms, baller. They were so good. But if you don't want to do that, I mean, the list is pretty good. I just want to see, probably instead of mandrakes, I want to see probably cut like reavers and mandrakes, and then you.
You haven't. This is your only 4 deployer in the army, man. You need 1 unit, 100%.
Cut.
You're just gonna lose to 4 deploying armies if you go second.
Don't do that then. Go first.
Okay. So as I was saying, when your list design, let's instead of just rolling better, how about we get a better list design?
Well, you can do both. You can cut. I honestly would probably cut both squads of reavers and just try to get. Oh, you don't have room for the. You don't have room for the Void's Guard. That can't be right. The Void's Guard were so good. Having the CP really let the army just go. God. Right, fine. Mandrakes can stay in. Fine. They get to live. I want another combat character, honestly. 3 felt good. 2 is...
Can you comment on the rumors that you want Nova utilizing vibrating beads and Morse code?
Onion, I absolutely cannot comment on that. I'm going to actually refer you to my lawyer.
You know what? I'm moving on. I'm just moving on. We're going to Iron Warriors. We're going to Iron Warriors. Why is this Iron Warriors? Warpsmith, master of 2 mops, 5 legionnaires, 2 times 11 cultists, 3 units of 5 possessed, a Hellbrute, 2 Venom Crawlers, 5 Raptors, 2 Forge Fiends, 2 Helldrakes. This can either be Word Bearers or Bile, and it would be a billion times better because it gives you better stuff. You have better options with that. Is this Iron Warriors just because Fred wants to play Iron Warriors?
I don't know. So he had some notes which I don't understand.
I just don't know why we want this as Iron Warriors.
So he says, I love the shooting. I'm struggling with my 3 secondaries. That one makes sense. Both Forge Fiends can get +1 to hit. One is always exploding 6s. Strategic use of -1 to wound demon engines and -1 damage to demonkin. I can kill the Terminator brick with transhuman in shooting as long as I warp mark them. I straight up don't see. I mean, like, maybe Iron Warriors do more stuff than I thought, which is probably true. But like, 2 Forge Fiends, 2 Venom Crawlers, a Hellbrute, and 2 Helldrakes kill the entire unit. I mean, maybe they do. Maybe Iron Warriors are just big baller energy.
Yeah, you're not even rerolling hits, man.
Yeah. I mean,
it doesn't matter what your bonuses are. You're a trans hitman with no rerolls.
Yeah.
So I just don't see.
It does shoot pretty hard.
It shoots fine. It's just the fact that another Legion would feel. I just feel it feels a lot better here. Also,
no, I think if you go like this, I think Iron Warriors is good. Like, Iron Warriors is legitimately very good.
It's strong on that. They also have one of the best strats there because you can just make a unit just unbelievably tough, but he has nothing to put that on.
I think that's fine. So he is a decent shooting army. I just want, like, I would love an extra Venom Crawler in here instead of the Raptors.
In this type of list, yeah, the Venom Crawler feels like it would be much better. It is something that flies, though. You can be move block pretty hard because you have a lot of vehicles right here.
Yeah, I get you can be move blocked, but like at a certain point, you have enough stuff that things are making it past move blocks. Or you're requiring your opponent to sacrifice a lot of their army every turn to move block you. That's definitely what I try to do with these kind of lists against Nick. Is I just say, like, yeah, you can move block my whole army. You're going to sacrifice half your army every turn to do it. And you also have Helldrakes, so like things are making it past move blocks anyway.
True.
I want to see. I don't know what this Hellbrute is doing in here, if I'm being 100% honest with you. It's a multi-melta, and that's kind of it.
I mean, you could buff it to make it hit on 2s, but...
Yeah, what I want is 3 Forge Fiends, 3 Venom Crawlers, 2 Helldrakes.
I'd be way more on board with that. If this is what we're leaning into with the Iron Warriors, it's just their shooting is okay comparatively, while their hand-to-hand in other Legions is just so top-notch.
I understand that, but that's not like the point here. Like, this is a completely different list to those lists.
I feel you. But if we're going to lean into that, then I think we do the triple Forge Fiend, triple Venom Crawler.
Absolutely. So we need to find 20 points to make that happen, because you turn Raptors and Hellbrute into Venom Crawler and Forge Fiend, you got to make 20 points. 10 of that's real easy. You turn the Cultists into 10-mans. I'm not sure why they're 11-man.
So they can get maximum blasted.
Yeah, is there a secondary that relies on them being over 10? I don't think so.
I mean, he's taking normal cultists just so he can do like a banners or something, I'm assuming. Because otherwise you just put a cursed cultist in.
Also, if we cut the Raptors, the cultists become illegal. Which is a bit of a problem. Not going to lie to you about that.
That is true.
You can probably swap around a 5-man possessed to something core, like just a 5-man. Like, honestly, we can get the points by going 5-man, 2 5-man possessed, 1 5-man chosen.
And it doesn't have the same hitting power, though.
It doesn't, but also it's core, and that way cultists worky.
Cultists work.
I mean, work it, cultists. Honestly, I could see 2 Forge Fiend, triple Venom Crawler, double Helldrake, and that's probably enough. And then I don't want this Hellbrute personally. I want it out. I hate Hellbrutes. I've been disappointed by them too many times.
They've touched you wrong. They've hurt you.
They have hurt me bad. And instead, we can get like accursed cultists, which would be pretty good. Like, we can get 2 squads of legionaries and a couple squads of accursed cultists.
I do love me some cursed cultists. I think they're amazing.
They're real good. Like, literally 2 5-man legionaries, 2 minimum accursed cultists. I think we can get for the price of that Hellbrute.
It would help a lot. The Cursed Cultists are just so much more durable. And they also have shenanigans with bringing back 3 guys so you can steal objectives.
Let me see if I'm right there. Plus 125, minus 90, minus.
We just have to have core units if you want to bring cultists because you need 1 for 1.
Yeah. So it would be 2 legionary squads and 2 squads of accursed cultists. Mario, you need core because the cultists otherwise don't. They're illegal to take. You need you get 1 cultist or accursed cultist for each core
unit, core infantry unit.
Yeah. And if we cut the Raptors, which I desperately want to do here, then we're lower on core.
I do hate Legionnaires, though, for their points.
I mean, they're fine.
They're not fine.
They are fine. They are just
They're so not fine.
Yeah, they're fine. I feel pretty confident with that. I mean, what we could do is we could just swap the Hellbrute for a Chosen. That gets us the troop, or that gets us the core. And then...
I mean, at that point, so I 100% would rather have that.
That's a clean swap right there. And then the 5 Raptors become a Venom Crawler. We get 10 points. We get another 10 points if we cut this extraneous cultist out of each unit that I don't understand why it's there. And then potentially there's a reason, but I don't know it. Then we have 20 points, and we can probably almost get to an accursed cultist unit, but probably not. And then at that point, it's probably throwing a mark onto something, and that's fine.
I like that.
Also, instead, honestly, instead of the Hellbrute, we take a unit of Havocs.
I mean, I could get behind that if we're going for the shooting anyways.
Yeah, and then you can give them, with those extra points, you can give them chain cannons.
I was just supposed to say I want chain cannons on them.
Yeah. Or you can give them Mark of Nurgle to make them impossible to shoot with Cloud of Flies.
Chain cannons all day long.
I like chain cannons.
Pew, 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 pew.
So you turn the Hellbrute, you turn the Raptors into a Venom Crawler, you turn the Hellbrute into Chain Cannon Havocs, because you turn the 2 cultist units to 10-mans. And I think I would like that list a lot more.
Now we pew pew again. Pew 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 pew.
Now we pew pew. Gotta love when you pew pew.
I do. A lot, actually.
Yeah. So I think that about wraps us up.
Wrap it.
All right. I'll be very disappointed in you, Bryan, if you don't make top bracket, because I sacrificed my integrity. So I hope you get paid.
All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging. Oh no, we got a super chat message.